Hopefully my internet is cool because it has been acting up just a little bit today.
Okay.
Get this light. I might just have to sit up like this. I don't think we've been on at 2 in a while, so we'll see.
Who comes on? Okay.
Definitely tax deadline.
Okay. All righty.
Like you said, we'll review that. The student loan. I was trying to write a note.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello, it's Tuesday.
Oh, there's my Amazon package coming. Thank
Okay.
you. I'll grab it. My FedEx guy. Same guy that come here today. Um. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Good afternoon. Shayla and I are on to give you Tax Tip Tuesday. We're kind of just going to give you guys some updates and reminders on a couple of things. And then this kind of will be maybe to like an open session for those of you who maybe have a question regarding taxes, personal or business taxes. We can also kind of do a little Q&A today too. Let me jump on TikTok really quick, Shayla.
Okay.
Do you want to get started with the first one that we're going to go over, which is
Yeah. Yeah, unless you want to get the TikTokers on.
yeah. Let me put them on right now.
Okay.
Um, okay, now we live on TikTok. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. So the first update is going to be about the student loan forgiveness applications. We do know that those applications should be released within the next um, one day, well, the next 4 to 5 days to the next 30 days. So within 30 days, they will start releasing that student loan application, Patrice. So folks who, we talked about this a few weeks ago, if you're eligible, you could apply for that student loan forgiveness. So that's just something for you guys to jot down, do your research on. But their student loan application will be released within the next 30 days. The next,
So when you say release, I'm sorry, Shay. When you say release,
it'll be online available for folks to apply.
okay. And
Yeah.
then the other one that we talked about, remember the one that we talked about for the schools that one is already open right now, right? I think that one's coming up soon. The deadline, I should say.
Deadline, yes. So that deadline is what, September 30th that they had to get them filed? That's what you're talking about?
Oh, was it September 30th? I gotta make sure my application was filed, girl. I don't know why I thought it was October 30th. October 30th, but September does sound more like it.
Yeah. So we've got to get those applications in, guys. Get those applications in. What we could do is just provide with like an update or something. But yeah, those have got to be put in. Because remember, it's two types.
Right. And that's what I was talking about. The second one that we were talking about that a lot of people don't know about, the one with the schools.
That deadline is, I want to say that deadline you have until December 31st.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, December 31st of this year.
Okay.
Yep. And then the most obvious of deadlines, guys, if you have put in a extension to have your 2021 taxes filed, that extension is quickly approaching. You have until October 17th to get those taxes filed. You got 2 tax professionals right here. Send a link, schedule a consult. Because what you don't want to do is just feel like you could just keep hitting extension, but you're not filing your taxes, because an extension does not do anything but just give you 6 months time to file, not time to pay, just time to file, extra time. So you want to make sure you get those tax returns filed. Take somebody who who knows, get your taxes in and get them filed. So those are pretty much the two quickly approaching updates or deadlines that I know of. Um, definitely, guys, if you have not filed that 2018 tax return, you want to make sure you get it in. And keep in mind, if you know what the September 30th deadline was, the folks who were actually, they can get that for the pandemic, for the penalty. They got the penalty relief if they filed the 2018 and 2019 tax returns by September 30th. That's the September 30th deadline.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the deadline for 2019 is to electronically file is this year. You pretty much have to get your taxes in electronically by the end of this year. So most of us, some of us, because not a lot of us, but some of us file all the way up until like December. So the taxware that Mychaela and I both use, we are able to file all the way up until December. So I do shut down before Thanksgiving though. So I'm no longer doing taxes in December. I have stopped doing that. All right. I'm like, no. Y'all not gonna come all the way to the very last second. Right. And if I do, I charge you 2 to 3 times the rate. I'm just let you know that right now, because that's called an expedited fee. All right, that's pain and suffering. So you got to pay for that. Okay.
So, because around that time, it's just a lot going on, especially with us. A lot of tax professionals, as you know, Patrice, we're trying to get continuing education wrapped in before we get ready to start. And it's just very hectic to be focusing on a doggone tax return when you're trying to get everything ready. So I agree. I'm following suit. I'm no longer going to be doing taxes in December unless it's well worth it.
That's what I'm saying. So just know, if you coming to somebody in December, y'all fees you're gonna have an expedited fee on top of that. Just know that. That's what we call it in the tax world.
Yeah.
Expedited, okay, because it's something that you should have been handled, and it's not our fault that you wait to the last minute. So that means you have to pay the cost for those to be processed. But that 2019, remember we told you got 3 years to file your taxes. So your 2019, 2020, and then you're filing current year 2021 right now, right? So when that happens, this is the 3rd year. This is coming. So the moment that we roll over to January 1st, 2023, technically 2019, you guys really will have all the way up until April 15th of 2023 to finalize 2019. But that means you're mailing it in, because anything past this year, you will not be able to file it electronically. Okay. So if you have not done 2019, contact us. I have Mychaela's link right there. It's been up a while. Now I'm going to put my link up. But contact us. If you need to get your taxes done, your taxes filed, we can file your last 3 years worth of taxes and push them through electronically. Okay. A lot of people too, I think, and I'm glad we're reviewing this too, because a lot of people think that April 15th deadline is just that. Like, a lot of people are not aware that you can still file taxes after that. And I think that's because it's pushed the tax deadline. So if you guys did not know that, you can definitely file taxes if you're working with an office like ours that, can still push taxes through. We're all year round preparers too. We're not seasonal. So some offices are seasonal. They're only open January through April, and then they shut down. But those of us who are real serious about this business and do taxes and financial services, most of our offices are open pretty much the whole year. Like I said, most of us shut down for January to get prepared for the next upcoming season.
Yeah, and on top of that, we can also process multiple states. A lot of people don't know that if you're tax, like some people that do taxes, they're just not able to do all states. But some of you guys that are listening that may be in states that we're not in, we're actually able to file all states, particularly because of the tax software that both she and I use. As you know, there are other folks that use other tax softwares and they're not able to file all 50. They're only able to file certain ones. So that's just something I always throw out there, because some people, they think you have to be in the state that that person is to complete the taxes, and that's not the case.
Right, right. Yep, very good point, Mychaela.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Yep. And what else is next? Geez, just basically those deadlines, guys. You guys need to get those taxes in. You also, it's the month of rolling into October, so you have a couple of months, few months left before the year is out. So some of you guys, that what we always see is that, you know, we look at your W-2s and we look to see how much you made, and we look over to that next box and we see zero, and then you find out, oh my gosh, I have to pay this much money, Mychaela. Why?
Right.
Well, you have to pay this much money because you did not go in and adjust your withholding. So some of you guys, I noticed this a lot, Patrice, they'll go in and they'll file exempt for 6 months, or tell themselves at the beginning that that's what they're going to do. And then they forget, and then they realize, oh my gosh, I had no taxes coming out. Guys, if you don't have dependents or deductions or credits that you can use against that, you're going to owe. So now is a good time for you to go in, look at your payroll, look at your check stubs, and see if you, could possibly adjust your withholdings. I know the IRS website, they have adjusting withholding calculators. So you can go in. It's not going to make a huge difference because we're going into October, but those 3 months could actually save you from owing more money than you would have had to owe. So it is always a good thing to go and revise your paycheck stubs, see what the type of taxes that are coming out. And guys, please stop habitually filing exempt, because what's going to happen is the IRS is going to send your job a letter or some type of notice, and they're going to block you from filing exempt. So filing exempt, I know a lot of you guys are like, I have to. I can't afford not to. But really and truly, you can. It's just all about how you budget, and then other things that you may have to add on into your lifestyle to bring the money back, But filing exempt is never a good thing to do, because it's just like with anything else. After you don't file your taxes for so long, the IRS is going to start filing them on for you, and then you won't be able to get any deductions or anything. So when you get a chance or get a moment, look at your paycheck stubs and make sure that you have had some type of taxes coming out of your paychecks.
Yes. Very, very, very good point. That's how a lot of people end up owing because they're not having the proper federal taxes taken out.
Yeah. And this is also like a good time, just to, like hire or seek out a tax professional right now, especially if you want to do tax planning. Let's just say you're thinking about, getting a divorce. I mean, let's just say you're thinking about having a baby. Let's just say you're thinking about, rolling over 401ks and trying to figure out what you want to do with it. All of that falls under the tax planning. And the one thing that I see is so many people, they make these decisions without talking to the tax professional or to the advisor or to the planner, whoever that may be. And then they make mistakes. Like a lot of people, they actually pull out of their 401ks and they find out certain things that they should have done before they did it. And now, like the average person don't know, like based on their age and based on why they pulled it out, Like, you're going to have to pay taxes on that. Plus, you're going to get subject to that 10% penalty. So you need to know those things before you make decisions, because it may be other forms of how you can get money versus going straight to your 401k. So, like, the whole purpose of today is just to get smarter about how you see yourself with your money that you're bringing in. I know this might be a little bit off topic, but I just need to say it, Patrice. I've been seeing a lot of videos on social media, and they're saying things, and it's really scary, but as long as you're prepared, it don't have to be scary. And what I mean by that is the pandemic that we had, a lot of people don't realize, but we were already warned about that, right? So we've been getting warnings now about other types of pandemics, other types, not necessarily saying this. So a lot of stuff that I've been seeing, we've been hearing the word recession, we've been seeing the word inflation and all of that. But guys, I want to tell you, now is the time to really think about saving to invest. Not saving to save, but saving to invest. Now is the time where you really want to start getting to your budgets. If you don't know how to do a budget, Patrice and I, we can show you how to do a budget. It's very simple to create a budget. But this is the time now that you really want to sit down with your significant others or with your children or your spouse, whoever, and you really want to think things through about finances, because they playing games out here. Let's just call it what it is. They playing games out here with our livelihoods, with this war, with the inflation. So many people right now don't have places to live, struggling and stuff like that. So what do you do about that? You can't really just put yourself into a corner, because that's not going to really solve anything. You just got to get smarter. So this is the one time where, if you've never considered investing in a tax professional, you need to. You need to, like, seriously. Like, even me myself, a tax professional, but I seek out the guidance of Patrice. Hey, what you think about this? This is going to happen. I seek out other type of people. Other people seek out stuff from me. So this is not the time where you really want to be going at it alone doing stuff, because I'm telling y'all, they cranking it up. So we got to crank it up with them. That's just that.
Seriously, no, they needed to hear that, because
I didn't say what I really wanted to say, but you know what I'm saying.
I know, yeah. But like she's saying, this is not the time to be frivolous with your money.
Yeah.
This is why we've really been on here every week talking to you guys about different topics and things like that. I've been on TikTok more talking to you guys about different topics of credit and business, because this is not the time to be willy-nilly with your money. Like, this is the time to be very intentional, to really get to understanding. If you're not understanding financial literacy, to pay attention to our channels, because there's a lot happening behind the scenes, right? And like we always say, it's a lot going on, but everything that's portrayed on social media, keeps you kind of blinded. So what I think, I don't have, let me see if I have any questions on TikTok. If I haven't filed my 2021 taxes, will there be a penalty? So you only get a penalty usually if you owe. If you end up filing your taxes and you get a refund, then you don't get a penalty. And then, can military personnel and family can file their taxes with you? Oh, yeah. Yes, Coffee. I thought he was getting ready to ask something else.
Oh, about if they're like deployed, can they wait to file their taxes?
Right. I thought that's where he was going with the question. Yeah. But yeah. And then too, I know the IRS put something out. I got to go back to the email, but I know the other day, usually like when there's storms or something, like Ian is about to hit right now for Florida. So if that hits and it's like a disaster or something, usually too, the IRS will give an additional extension for those kind of areas. So I know, I don't know if it's real.
Yeah, I'll pull it up really quick. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let's see. Disasters.
And then too, while Shayla's pulling that up, We're also talking about really from a federal level right now. So most of the information that we're giving you guys, we're talking about on a federal standpoint for the IRS. Every state is different, right? Some states don't even pay taxes. So depending on your state, that's a different tax return, right? That you're filing with your state. So when we're talking about right now, like the 3-year rule, that's federal, right? So when I say federal, that's your 1040. That's your larger refund, right? Your state refund is usually smaller. So when we are giving you this information, we're usually speaking from a standpoint on your federal tax return topics. Okay.
Yep. Always. Okay, so what I'm gonna try to do is see if I can find a link that they could use to see if their state, because normally they have like the states. Let's see here. Hmm. Disasters. Disaster victims. Is this it? Yep. So I have the link here. So it's basically tax relief, presidentially declared disaster areas. They have a whole page, a whole link. I can put the link here and send it to you. But they have an entire link that lets you know which state, counties, different things like that, if you are affected by it, because disasters fall under different meanings. But right about now, where you have hurricanes, tornadoes, those things, those types of things, you can actually file for what we call casualties, casualty losses. Let's see here. Yep. So I sent you that link. If anybody wants to check that out and look into that.
Okay, I'll just put it in the comments. TikTok, we are on YouTube as well. So if you guys missed anything or coming in now, you can also chime in on the YouTube channel under Patrice Stewart or go back and watch the full replay there.
Yeah.
We had a replay show up on the YouTube channel.
Yep. Now the second one I just sent you is actually, they can actually click on their state. So the second one is for each state. That might be a better one.
Okay.
So
Posting that in the comments. So guys, just look at the comments in the video and
yeah.
you'll have that there.
Yeah, and sometimes, guys, the IRS doesn't necessarily, because these hurricanes, happen, and just different disasters happen before they can put this information out. Just because you don't see your state there, you don't see something that's like just current, that just recently happened within 2 weeks, don't panic. Just look into a Google. If you know your state has been affected, then more than likely will be granted, those extensions to file or extensions to pay or whatever.
Yeah. And then, like I said again, for that other question, like if you guys do file your taxes, and if you haven't filed, in 2019 or 2020, and if you're due a refund, right? Remember again, you're gonna forfeit that refund if you do not file within that 3-year period. So 2019, this is your last year to go ahead and really get your refund electronically. Because remember, anything that you file next year between January through April, you're pretty much going to have to mail in. This is the last year to process it electronically. Same way for 2020. We are in current year, which is 2021, because remember, you filed the year before in the current year. So you're claiming 2021's income in this year, and then this 2022 income you'll be claiming for 2023. And then also, before we get into Q&A, if you guys have any, again, we're not doing these hour sessions with you guys. We'll probably be on here 20, 30 minutes at tops moving forward. So what was the other thing I want to say? Oh, the other thing that I want to say, business owners, right? Remember, so many of you guys, you still have time to get your paperwork in order. When you come see us in January and February, really February, because I don't really file taxes in January. Most of you guys, right? You're supposed to be bringing us a profit and loss report. All right. We are telling you this is September. Don't come call my office in January talking about, Patrice, can you do my taxes? And I ask you for your paperwork and you don't show up with a profit and loss report. I'm telling you right now, what you need to get together to be able to prepare for this upcoming season. So if you have not looked at your books, looked at your receipts, we need you to go through that. I need you to put your big girl, big boy pants on. All right. Let's get to the business and handle business like we're supposed to. And you should know your numbers. That's my biggest thing, is knowing your numbers. And so right now, if you have been working this business and you making money, but you don't have your receipts together, you don't know what you're bringing in, you don't know what your expenses are, that means you do not have an accounting system. That
Yeah.
means you're not looking and managing your money and your finances. All right. If that's something that you need to do or you need assistance with, reach out. We can point you in the right direction. You can get QuickBooks, Zoho, all kind of stuff, right? But you need an actual accounting system so that way you can know and understand your numbers. You can know where you are in business. And so this is the time, if you don't have it, to be gathering and getting your stuff together in this current year while you're still in it, while you still have the next quarter, because you also got fourth quarter coming up. So if you have expenses coming up, these are the type of the expenses that you could be planning and working on spending that can take advantage of tax write-offs, right? So you still got this fourth quarter. So you just want to make sure that you're utilizing it and you're getting yourselves together. Because again, when you wait until the last minute or you wait until tax time to try to get all this stuff together, that's more money. Okay. It costs you more for us to go through receipts, or I'm going to send you to somebody who's going to put those receipts in because we don't have time to do that during tax season. All right.
Yeah.
So now, any questions? If you guys have any questions, concerns, anything that we went over or we didn't go over, this will be the time to ask that.
Yeah, just to go back on what you said, I put it in the chat for those people when you were addressing about those tax returns that needed to be filed. What I said earlier about the 2018, the 2019, and the 2020 for that penalty relief, they have until September 30th to get those 2 years. If you want to avoid the penalty relief, meaning the penalty that you would be getting for not paying and not filing, they are going to give you that penalty relief, but you have to get that tax return filed before September 30th. So we should definitely see some bookings after this thing. You know you haven't filed your taxes and you know you possibly will owe. This is a way for you to avoid those penalties, but you have literally 3 days to get it done. And then just going back to what you said about with the business owners, it just makes it for a better tax experience, guys, on the tax professionals' part and your part. Whenever I don't have my paperwork and stuff organized, it's stressful. And a lot of you guys just think that taxes for you is just so stressful. Well, she offered one really great way for it not to be stressful, which is having an accounting system, being organized. We talk about this all the time about record keeping and keeping your books and your records together. But that is really, truly what makes for a great tax experience. And then your tax professional will also have probably a little bit more time to discuss other things with you. But because you didn't have your stuff together, it's either more than likely, depending on that tax professional, they're going to turn you around. They're going to reschedule your appointment because they just don't have time for that. You're supposed to already have those things in place. So that is just one really huge critical thing that you should be doing right now, which is organizing your books, getting your receipts together. And y'all, please stop saving receipts, please, because the ink just fades away on the receipts and there's nothing we can see. We can't see that. We can't see the receipts. There's nothing. You need an actual system that you're keeping in place where, we got several out here: Zoho, Receipt Bank, QuickBooks, everything. You can literally snap a picture of the receipt and upload it into that system. And the system will actually categorize the receipt for you.
Exactly.
It's just time to get financially responsible in your business. And it's really what will reduce a lot of stress for you and stress for your tax professional. And then y'all can really get down to the things of discussing stuff and ways of how you can, scale and grow your business. But no tax professional don't be wanting to do that if all they got to do is just organize your books, because they're just going to pass it off to somebody else and charge you for it. That's what is going to happen.
Can you say, I have a pension plan that needs to be rolled over? Is an IRA a good option? So that you should actually speak to an actual financial advisor or insurance agent for more direction on. You want to actually talk to somebody about what your options are and what's out there. I don't do that here on the live session. We don't give any kind of legal advice. It's a whole lot other questions that would need to be kind of asked as far as what you want to do with the money, how you want it to look. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely can roll it over versus taking it out. You can roll it over into a form of an IRA, but there's other things that you can roll it over to outside of a formal IRA. So I would just look at all of your options before you do that. But that's a great question. And I don't have any other questions after that.
Okay, cool. All right.
We don't have anything else.
I hope you guys found this to be helpful and knowledgeable. Let's get those tax returns done if you guys haven't done them. Yeah, I have an answer for him, but yeah, that's something he would need to book a consultation for, because you have to really figure out a whole bunch of other stuff versus giving an answer out like that.
Up too. Yeah, I never just randomly give advice like that because you just don't know people's
situations. Yeah.
Then it depends, dollar amounts depend on what you're doing and what you can put that into. So a lot of other moving parts that we don't want to get all your personal information in on here.
Of course.
So that's definitely a question that will be more offline. So that's Shayla's link there. And then I'll throw mine up, and then we are going to pretty much wrap up for this Tax Tip Tuesday.
And just for texting, guys, just make sure if you want to join the community, text family to the number that's scrolling across the screen, where you'll be provided all types of information, tax tips, business information, credit. So it's a good thing to join the community. And all you have to do is just text family, and they'll just be automatically in, right, Patrice?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep, they'll get a welcome confirmation link message to let them know that they're in.
Cool.
Well, okay, guys, we are out of here. We have taxes to do.
It's Tuesday, but I'm dancing like it's Friday. Yes, this was great. Thank you, Patrice.
All right, you all. We will see you all. Lab, we will see you tomorrow for study hall. I'm sorry, for lunch and learn. I will also be on this evening for my TikTokers. We'll be going over another credit topic. And then Shayla and I are due back on Friday. And then we also have study hall in the lab for lab members on Thursday with Chuck. We got to get with Chuck. So we'll see you guys later on this week.
Ciao.